In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Today's Gospel reading takes us all the way through to the end of the Sermon on the Mount, where Jesus essentially gives a warning. Follow what I have said, and all will be well. But if you hear what I'm saying, and don't do it, then you're going to have problems. It's where we get the saying that it was built on sand, that it was never going to stand up, it was never going to endure. And this people were astonished at what he was saying because he was speaking with his own authority. Usually what people would do is give opinions. What teachers would do, what rabbis would do, is give opinions. This is my interpretation of the law. Much like our own legal system today, you can also find other interpretations of the law. But Jesus said, this is the way. I am the way. This is what's going to happen. And had he left it there, had he left it with astonishment, then, well, these would be good words. These would be noble words. And what of it? But in the gospel reading, what immediately happens next is that he heals people. And he says, take this healing and offer the right sacrifices according to the law. And you need to go to the temple for this. And you need to show this to the priest at the temple. Because the priest needs to hear this as well. Because we all need to hear this as well. And this is the way that we can reach him. And this teaches us something today. It's not that we are able to speak with authority. We're able to learn from Jesus. We are not to replace him. But it does teach us something about the connection between words and actions. When we talk to people, when we speak with people, who we are as a person is part of this conversation. That's why it is that conversations on the internet so rarely go anywhere. Because you don't know who you're talking to. You don't have that knowledge that this person is trustworthy. They could be making things up for all you know. Or they could be telling the truth and you really don't know. But when someone is standing in front of you, you know that they're putting themselves behind what they're saying. And Jesus put his actions behind his words. His ability to heal, which we expect from the Son of God, which we could even expect from many of the prophets. This ability to heal gave basis for the words that he was saying, gave the proof that the Sermon on the Mount was of God, was of divine origin. Because otherwise, no such healing, no such miracle would have occurred. And so to back our words with our actions, to back our words with our life, is what we can take away from today's gospel reading. Sometimes you'll hear the line to preach if necessary, and preach always, and if necessary, use words. And it touches on something that's very, very necessary for us to know. That is that all that we do is part of our preaching. It's often misused as well, and I don't want to dwell on that. But it teaches us that what we do is part of how we communicate. Who we are is part of how we communicate. If we seek to do the works that we hear in the Gospel of James, the Epistle of James, where a person who converts another saves a soul from death and covers a multitude of sins. Part of that is who we are. How has the gospel changed us? How has it brought us to sanctification? And so with today's gospel reading, let us keep this close to our hearts, that all that we do is part of our sermon. All that we do is part of our preaching. All that we do is part of our communication with the people around us. May the Lord help us as we make all of our actions confirm our salvific words. Amen.